It's...
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. And I hear you are the one to thank. I'm grateful. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it. Very good of you. Thank you.
Halsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Korga. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
Elturel didn't want us, and those druids sure as hell didn't either. But you risked your life for us.
What do you think?
You were a marvel to behold. Even Baldur himself would bow to such formidable talent.
Introductions are in order. The Blade of Frontiers, at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the Blade of Frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single-curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
Hell's Great Fires. You were on the ship. You saw her then. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
Karlach's her name. An archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill.
I tracked her through the hells to the mind flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her.
She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses. I'd be a fool if it didn't. I know the stories. Doomed to shed my skin, become a Illithid, and there's no coming back. But I haven't sprouted any tentacles. Least not yet, thank Baldrin. Could just be good luck. But sooner or later, it's bound to run out. I like your thinking. Besides, I watched you at the gate. I could use an ally like you. Now, let's move.
The famous Blade of Frontiers in the flesh. Clever, this hero act you've got going.
Hero, Blade. Name strangers gave me. My friends call me Will.
Excellent. If we ever become friends, I'll know what to call you.
Oh my. This is going to be a fun journey.
We made it somehow. Now we just need to get to Baldur's Gate.
I knew this would come right if we just stayed positive. Not that your blade didn't help too.
Mattis, this is junk! Waste of effort!
God, it seems we might actually make it to the city now. Hope the neighbors are a bit more welcoming.
You do good work. If you can handle more than goblins, might be I'll have use of you in Baldur's Gate. Always a deal to be done, even now. Try not to die up there. We're not in the clear yet. Keep sharp until we're standing on cobbles in Baldur's Gate.
I'm glad you didn't die. No discounts once I'm running the wider Baldur's Gate mind.
When you find the river and follow it downstream.
I'm your lummox.
Yes, you are. Now, stop squirming.
Mattis says we should say thank you.
Don't know why everyone's cheering. We're just going back on the road.
Yes? I've got places to be. I'm sure you do too. Always a deal to be done, even now. Try not to die up there. Right. All of our taking stashed away for the journey?
Yes, Mum? Check twice myself.
Better be sure. Need every last copper piece to get started.
One sorrow ended, the next soon to begin.
For anything. Baldur's Gate, we're coming.
We didn't die today. Tomorrow, perhaps, but not today. Thanks to you.
Thought you'd left us to our fate running off like you did. Glad I was wrong.
Back to worrying about road rations it is. So many mouths to feed, but, well, that's not a bad problem to have. Thank you, truly.
If we get separated or need to break camp fast, remember, find the river and follow it.
We couldn't have held them back on our own. Thank you.
So it's true. You scattered the goblins. Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you. Of course. May you keep balance. It'll take a while for us all to recover. But you've helped us take the first... Of course. May you keep balance.
Seems a little too interested in me.
You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches where you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the Druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish, Master Halsin.
She shows great insolence, but time will humble her. And the Grove still needs her. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The Grove stands. Nature prevails. And again, I am in your debt. Speak to Wrath. He will reward you for your efforts. Tomorrow morning, we shall discuss what is to come. Banished.
Then banish me. When the coming army marches, there will be none to protect you.
You're testing my patience.
I hear the goblin leaders met their ends. Unfortunate for them, but very fortunate for the Grove.
Free of the goblins, but the Grove is changed. Wounded. The days ahead won't be easy.
I'm glad we have Halsin to guide us.
I wasn't sure about you at first. Thought you might be trouble. I was very wrong.
You done it. You brought Halsin back. Thank you. No, thanks is not enough. May Sylvanas bless you for all your days. I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task. As am I. The grove will be whole again. Let me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need it. Place it among the pedestals inside our library. When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Peace. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I think it's high time you all left. Our sacred grove has sheltered you enough.
Within the inner sanctum, of course. It is not for us to fight your battles. I assure you, the feeling is mutual.
Master Halsin's home, by Sylvanas' mercy.
It might have been better.
You did this grove a great favor. And now leave the rest to us.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you. You only have a matter of days to live. Don't dally, my friend.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. He brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales. Don't you think? Do not trust Raphael. Is that plain enough? Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great. That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with, and then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Ariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. You are a warlock. You know about bound souls and frozen tongues. I can only leave the rest to your imagination. Suffice to say, I hunt monsters, devils included, and I will do what I can to quench the coast of their flames. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Tiny grooves spider across the ice surface. It resembles a sanding stone used to confer with distant contacts.
Ah, my good fellow.
The Blade of Frontiers. Let's hope Will lives up to his name. We'll need all the help we can get. I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Fine. Just keep out of matters that don't concern you. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? My Lady Shah is the Night Singer, the patron of darkness and loss. Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals. We tear down the lies the world is drunk on. The institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths. You're wiser than most. Many people balk at our doctrine. It's the reason why we cherish secrecy. You've a habit of saying all the right things. Either you're very glib or we're kindred spirits. Maybe both, knowing myself. But yes, once we've saved ourselves, we can talk more on this.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? There are many answers to that question. None are important. Correct. No.
Master Halsin's past his prime. It might be time.
Never a dull moment.
The grove's gonna feel so blessed day. I was worried I'd never see Master Halsin again. You kept your word. Thank you. I don't know if I can ever restore Sylvanas' peace to this place. But I'll have the chance, thanks to you.
Someone doesn't like visitors.
Glowing eyes are rarely a good sign. Best be careful.
That's curious.
Have you wondered what people will say, Will, when they find out the monster hunter is becoming a monster?
I've faced countless perils and conquered them all. This will be no different.
I've always had a soft spot for the confident ones. They always disappoint though.
Still alive. So that's progress. Time to get going.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something? Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
What's going on with that room?
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
A hand? Anyone? Just your average traveler stuck between realms. Pull me out, and we'll get properly introduced. Whatever you're doing is working wonders. Now, a quick little pull should do the trick. Oh. Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. Usually better at this. A bit shocked, but friend, it's a relief and a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well. And I can only assume you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. No use sugarcoating it, is there? The insertee we speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceramorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them. As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together? Oh, I see you're traveling with plenty of company already. Perhaps I can join you later instead. I'll make my way to your camp and embark upon a succulent slow cook to be consumed upon your return.
What's that? No use digging with my bare hands. No use digging with my bare hands.
Die a bloody pauper unless you take a few risks.
Why don't we... You both twice as tall as me, but have half the bloody backbone!
But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt?
I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days. Now we... Stop! Got ourselves competition already. That's our ship. well, in that case, come on, you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese! Now move it!
You're more cunning than you look. I thought we had a fight on our hands.
What do you give a buck? Everything all right out there? Oh, I told him it wasn't safe out there. Get inside and I'll rustle up some bandages.